It is.
Yeah. Welcome everybody to Catfish Weekly, along with the Chad. I'm Lyle. Chad, that's a great looking shirt you got.
You like that?
I
I
do.
like it too.
Where can I get one of those?
You could go right to my Teespring and store in any of the descriptions of any of my videos and get you one of these bad boys.
That's an awesome looking shirt.
Yeah, well, there's rumor that it says there's some that say hashtag Team Base Shop on the back of them, but we'll
really?
just leave that there.
That's kind of cool. Looks like we got a big crowd in tonight.
Hashtag Team Base Shop.
I would like to announce that just shortly, an hour and a half ago, I got a message from Tim Scott, Epic Catfishing. You're sideways.
Sorry about that. I was making sure all my stuff was closed. I thought I heard a little bit of echo from.
You probably did. Okay. Tim has had a breakdown, and he is not going to be able to get home in time to do the show with us tonight, so we're going to reschedule and get him back on here. Sorry for those that I was counting on him being here. Things happen that's beyond our control, and I just talked to him the other night. He was all excited about coming on here and doing the show for us, and we got a lot of things to talk about. Like I said in the prelude to this show, that Tim and I have fished a lot of the same waters over the years, and maybe sometimes at the same time, but we've never fished it competitive against each other. But I think it'll make a great show, him talking about areas that he fished and what I fished, and from Keokuk south. So we're looking forward to doing a show with him when he gets things lined out, and we'll get him back on here and make that happen. But in the meantime, along with the good-looking new shirt and new decals, what do you say we knock this stuff out and say hello to everybody tonight, Chadwick?
Let's do it. I'm glad that you made up an excuse for Epic. I know that really you really only wanted one true Epic fisherman on here tonight, and there just wasn't enough room for Tim and I both to be on here. But hopefully he gets his vehicle fixed or trailer or whatever it was, and we can share some screen time again another time.
I'm quite sure that he's looking forward to that.
Absolutely. All right, let's kick it off. Let's say hi to everybody real quick.
Let's do it.
All right, we've got Mr. Avid Fisherman. We got Thomas from Laughing Catfishing. We've got Jason Lamb, Sampy, Kentucky Catfish King. Wait a minute. Did J-Dog change his name? I know that's not me in there. I'm not sure who Kentucky Catfish King is, but welcome. We had to have a talk about your name. We got Fishing for Whiskers, Brian B. Catfishing. We got Fishing with the Squirrel. Scroll down here. Creole Catfishing. What's going on, buddy? John Patrick Jr. Cat Life Outdoors. That's a new one to me.
There's a couple of new ones in here.
Yeah. We got Josh from the Weekend Angler, and oh my God, they are doing a spectacular job on the Biggest Loser competition. I think there are only a few weeks in, 4 or 5, 6 weeks, something like that. I think it's like 4. But they're down 280 something pounds already as a team. Wow,
that's amazing. Yeah, I'm congratulations to all the guys.
Yeah, the really cool stuff that Josh has got going on over there at his channel.
I take it Whisker and Dream's talking about what you said.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's Ricky. Ricky from Whisker Dreams. He seems to think that he's got what it takes to beat me and be at Lake Wiley when we do the American Heroes tournament down there for Patriot James. I'm going to take it all, ladies and gentlemen. I will have D with me, so we'll be a force to be reckoned with again.
That's right.
We got Dale Hayslip in the house tonight. We've got my Valentine. Get hooked on D fishing. My daughter is right in front of me watching. Good evening, Alyssa. Thank you. Hey, can you not make noise? Okay. Thanks. We got Dan Thompson. We got Mark from Catfishing Crappie, who will have Danny Stone tonight, right after our show here tonight.
Do a good show tonight after we're done for sure. We got Thomas, Laughing Cats Fishing, Lynn with Catfishing Fever and Fishing with the Squirrel, and Roger with Muskrat, and Quiet Man Curtis, Solo Texas Adventures, Clear View Outdoors, Chrissy Brown, Pontoon Jody, Moonlight Fishing, John Boy's Catfishing. I'm not sure how many of these you went over. Chris Davis, Mad Catter Fishing.
See, Gula Cat and Jeremy Tournament Cats. Jeremy caught a whopper the other night.
Yes, he did. Congratulations on a great fish.
We got Joyce Stewart,
David Smith, Scott Swift, Jerry Parker, Carmel Muncie. Patriot James is in the house. Sogo. Trying to CVA.
Down East Tackle. We got Lee Evans Catfish Kentucky. Pontoon Jody.
Brian B. Catfishing. I know that's a good friend of yours.
That's my BFF.
Yeah, man. We got it covered, man. It can Packer. It has before. Mad Catter Catfishing. Evening, Richard.
We got
Chuck Morgan.
Fat Boy Eric. David Smith. Mr. Maurice Cason.
Maurice. Want to be outdoors. Hello, Matt.
Not seeing anybody else new that I think we've got everybody covered. Steve Mosley.
Yeah, Creole.
Yep, I had Mr. Creole.
Okay.
And cannot forget my buddy Stan 3.
Stan 3. Hard to keep them separated, Stan 2 and Stan 3.
Well, Stan 3 is on my side, so he's the only one that I will.
So I take it that means Stan 2 is not on your side?
No, he's on my BFF Brian side. I see we got Mr. Chunky Cats himself has made it. He is driving and listening. Be safe, pal.
Welcome, L. Stan. Jay Fox Hunter. Downtown Ernie Brown. John Patrick Jr. Jason Lamb. Ray Smith. I'm sorry, Ray. Chrissy.
See,
Get to the bottom of the list.
I think I'm down here at the bottom now. I see Danny Stone has made it in.
It's all mine. Hey, Michelle.
Laura the Explorer, Carmel Muncie, Don R. I think we're pretty caught up there, Lyle, right now.
Good deal. Well, again, I would like to let everybody know that we got a message about an hour and a half ago from Tim Scott, and he will not be able to make the show. He's had a breakdown, and they're working on things. And when I talked to him then, he was still an hour north of Chicago. So those of you that planned on being here, Tim will reschedule and be on our show at a later date, but he just couldn't get home in time to do it tonight. And that's okay. Things happen. We just have to deal with it and go on. And, we're going to have a great show when he shows up and gets on here. So be sure to stay tuned, and we'll get that posted whenever he's done. But I know he's going to have a prior commitment next weekend, so he'll probably be tied up with that. There's Bill Wright's Fishing. Welcome.
That's all right. We'll get him back on here.
Yep, Mike
one
Irwin.
of these days.
Absolutely will. Yep.
He's
excited about doing the show, so I'm sure that we'll get him on here. We're going to have a good time to visit with. There's LG Bass. Wild Chat and Chatters, he says. Man, I can't get to the bottom. There's JP3.
It's all right. I think I've seen Quiet Man Curtis put in there that I can't fish worth a lick. Like 15 times. He's not wrong, but
yeah, but you got a secret weapon, man.
I took my secret weapon out fishing this weekend, Lyle, and it didn't even help us out there. It was pretty rough.
That There will be days like that.
It will be.
So what's happening out in the big metropolitan of Kentucky isms?
Oh, well, right now it's just we'll call it the yo-yo weather that is coming through. Last year, well, we had the Winter Blues tournament in February, and it was so freaking cold across all of our areas that we had people getting freezer burnt outside. There was snow everywhere, ice, all that kind of stuff. And we did get a storm the other, last week that produced about 3 to 4 inches of sleet and ice and then snow on top of it. But the temperatures, we're going to hit 60 degrees one day this week.
Yeah, it's going to be 65 here tomorrow.
Yeah. Who would think that in February we'd be hitting 60 degrees already? But it's got me pumped up and ready for springtime.
Absolutely. I see Mike Greenwell has made it in the house. 63 degrees in February is kind of unusual. I'm happy about it. Not going to complain about it. Hope the crap we can get out and get to go fishing tomorrow. We'll see how that works out. We've had a couple things turn up here since you and I've been live that may change some of that.
Yeah.
We was talking before, and that's just the way things go. Things pop up and you see how that works out. But hopefully we'll be able to get out. It's going to be 60s Wednesday also, but chance of rain late in the evening or in the evening. So big deal. But it is what it is. The weather you have no control over, and you do the best with it that you can. I do have something I'd like to visit about before I forget it.
Sure, let's go.
You know how that is with me and forgetful. Mark, Catfish and Crappie has a tournament coming up.
He
I don't
does.
remember the name of it. Do you remember the name of it?
It is the March Madness, is all I can remember as far as from the name of it. But it's a 1v1 bracket tournament.
Exactly. And he needed, 16 teams or 16 people to be entered in that.
He needed 14 because
two others
for some reason he gave Brian B. and Creole special treatment.
Well, I think there's a reason behind that, and that's okay.
Well, you know me. I mean,
yeah, I do. As a matter of fact, I do. You have a picture of James.
I did receive a bottle for a reason because everybody thinks I'm a big whiner. But that,
He got a bunch of entries right off the bat.
Yeah.
And the last I knew, he was up close to around 30.
Yeah.
Maybe not quite 30, but right at that mark.
It was in the at least mid-20s.
So if I'm correct, next Monday night, not tonight because he has Danny Stone on tonight, but next Monday night he's going to have a drawing for the people that's going to draw out to be entered in that tournament. But if anybody still wants to get in, they can still get in the drawing.
Yes.
So if you're interested in being part of that tournament, you can still send Mark a message. And Mark, if you're in chat, and I know that you are, you need to put up the link so anybody that's not entered into the drawing can get in the drawing. And then whoever's chose out gets to choose somebody that's on the list. Is that the way you understand it, Chad?
That is exactly how I understand it. Whoever is entered into the list. So if you want to get into that, Mark, drop your email there. It's 1v1 at catfishingcrappie.com. I believe is his email. But yeah, he will get everybody's name, and then next Monday night we'll do the drawing, and then as people get picked, they get to call out people from that list. That's what happened to me last year. Lyle, I had Larry got chosen, and he tried to take down his fellow Kentucky brethren, and had to put a whooping on him that day.
Well, it did. Yeah,
I did.
It was a lot of fun. I think if I remember correct, that's the one that Creole chose me in. Is that right?
I believe so. He was saying he wanted the big dog. Yeah.
And we didn't fare too well in that, but we was having some boat troubles. We got that fixed now, so it'll be a whole new.
But it's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun, and that's what it's about. It's having a good time.
Yeah.
And with the weather going like it is every day that we have, that is 60 degrees, is that much closer to spring, which I know we're all excited about that.
I am so thrilled.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Can't wait until we have 60s and 70s all the time. And I feel like we probably got probably one more snow and at least one more cold snap. But every one of the cold times, they're not lasting as long, and they're going back up. The temperature goes back up within a day or two. So I think that by the time March rolls around here, we'll be in pretty good shape. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate that very much. I would like to say that we had left next week open for you and me to do a show with, and we was geared up to have Tim on tonight, so that kind of throwed a wrench in things, but that's okay. We'll figure out something for next week, but I believe it's the 28th. Let me check my calendar. It is.
Yeah, that would be the 28th.
Yeah, the 28th of February, unless something comes up unexpected. For any of you that watches the Outdoor Channel, Big Water Adventures, Mark Davis is on Big Water Adventures. He's had that show, won every award just about that the Golden Moose Awards have to offer. I mean, he's a really successful fisherman, fishes offshore stuff. I've messaged him and visited with him for years and years, and we've talked about him coming on Catfish Weekly and doing a show. Mark is a big proponent of skin care. He has had skin cancer. He's had all kinds of issues with it, and he talks about it and tries to educate people about it. And Mark is going to do a show with Catfish Weekly the 28th, and we're going to talk about skin cancer and how to prevent it and what you do if you think you've got it and all the stuff that goes along with that. We're probably going to do some talking about fishing. I mean, he's one of the most successful, longest running shows on the Outdoor Channel, and he is a great guy. He may not catch catfish, but the information that he's going to share with us that Monday night will be invaluable. So we all get out and fish in the sunshine. Cindy's had issues with stuff. I had a spot removed one time. It wasn't cancerous, but you don't know until after they do that stuff. And she's had a couple of spots taken off of her, and it's something that's near and dear to me, and it is to him. And I just think it'll be an education for our viewers that they all should watch. And who doesn't want to visit with Mark Davis? I mean, holy crap. He's a big deal. So I'm excited about that.
No, I'll definitely be interested in that because I'm horrible about it, and I'm very fair skinned and
right,
being a redhead and all that stuff. But
yeah,
you know, I'm also think I'm big and bad, and it'll never get me. Nothing will ever get me. You know, that type of thing. But
it will.
Never know.
It can. it can. So Laura, I hope your sister gets things go better for her. And that just means that this will be an important show that maybe you would like to watch with us because it's going to be real educational. And like I say, Mark Davis, he's a hoot, man. He really is. And great fisherman. El Gato, welcome. Downtown Ernie Brown. There was somebody else in here just a minute ago that I seen, Chad.
Seen El Catfish Grande.
That's the one. I hadn't seen that for a while. So,
yeah,
glad to have them in here. But yeah, that's it's going to be a fun show with Mark, and even after you embarrassed me and had Cindy on your show where she wouldn't do one with me, she is going to sit in on that show with Mark because she visits with Mark online too. So
nice. Well, to be fair, you can't be mad at me. That was on Dee's show, not mine. I was just corrected from the other room.
I can't be mad at Dee.
You can't beat Miguel because she'll whoop you just like she'll whoop me.
Exactly right. Heck yeah. Now, I did see in a message on Facebook that James Dockery is watching tonight. He had told me that he wasn't going to. Something about he was going to take Katie out to Cheddar's for dinner or whatever, but I guess Katie will have to wait for another time because it doesn't look like James is going to fulfill his duties and take her out for Valentine's Day dinner, which he should. But it's after all, it is James Dockery.
That's right.
So,
Well, if nothing else, as punishment for not taking her to Cheddar's, everybody should subscribe to the Drive for Five to get James Dockery to 500 subs.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm not sure where he's at now, but he's just shy of 300, I think.
Oh, I think he's just not shy of 400.
Oh, is that right? Good. Fishing with JBT. Welcome, buddy. Mr. Gadget, fishing with the squirrel. And they're still pouring in tonight. We're doing good.
377 at the moment is what DJ said.
377, big number for James. We could get him to 500. He's liable to take off and really go to town. So that's what we want. We want him to do good. Carl Wells says took his wife out to dinner and made her pay for it, so we both won. Well, Sandy, I'm not sure that's how it's supposed to work, but if it works for you guys, that's okay. Roger said Dockery took her out for better cheddars.
And that would work.
Yeah. I'm thinking James probably just sat back and said, Katie, I'm hungry.
Yeah, Mr. Gadget, Epic had to unfortunately cancel for tonight. He's having some troubles out on the road.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can get him rescheduled to come back in here because, you know me, I like to not only hear what he has to teach us, but I like to give him a little grief too. And
absolutely. Yeah, he can dish it out too. Ray Smith says he took his wife out to dinner for Valentine's Day, or his wife took him out. Wow. That's kind of cool. Gadget says, I stood my wife up to watch Epic and here. Oh, you'll have to send him a message about that. I don't want to involve any part of that. Thank you, Lynn.
You might be in trouble tonight, Gadget.
Yeah, maybe so. I know everything's looking really good. We got a lot of people in chat tonight and a lot of thumbs up. Please remember, if you like what we're doing, to give us a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber to Catfish Weekly, please do so. If you like our content, subscribers and all the things that you guys do to help us along to get closer to the top of the page on YouTube is what it takes for us to keep getting great guests like Mark Davis and Tim Scott and the people that we have as guests on. So we need to, keep getting our name up at the top of the page, subscribers, likes, and stuff like that's what makes that happen. So
that's right. I think we what we could do, Lyle, we could start making you do some of them dancing tiki-taki thingies that Mark's good at, and maybe we can get some extra traffic from there over here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to be doing too much of that. Bill Forsey.
But I got some questions for you, Mr. You're the most masterful fisherman that I know. Well, we got plenty of time here to talk about some different stuff, but we were just saying that winter time is coming to an end. We've got a couple more weeks, and we'll start seeing the warm really trend in. But river fishing and stuff is mostly what I do, and I know you fished the Mississippi and the Missouri, and yes, before you even say it, I know that you guys have real current. But what kind of things do you start looking at differently going into your spring fishing versus what you would be doing in the wintertime out that way?
Well, on the rivers and stuff, I'm looking for current breaks, ledges, drop off, and one of my favorite places on the big rivers is behind wing dikes because there's like an eddy or a low movement of water back there. And these rivers, as you know, from fishing the Ohio River when it's up, when that current is rocking and rolling, those fish are looking for a place They go out and eat, and they got to have a place to go rest and digest or whatever it is they do. But they got to have a break from that current. They can't fight it all day long every day. They've got to go someplace and rest up. So on the Missouri and Mississippi, there's so many wing dikes, especially on the Mississippi, that they go up behind those wing dikes, and there's usually a deep hole of water behind most all of them, and they'll go in there and they'll rest up, and there's usually a bunch of shad up in there, and they go in there and feed. Not just shad, skipjack, mooneye, and other things too. But this time of the year, my experience has been that shad is the best bait until it starts warming up, and I don't know why, and they have no idea. But because mooneye for me has always been really hard to get this time of year for whatever reason. Now once in a while you'll get some in a cast net, but shad is the easiest and works the best for me until the water starts warming up, and that anything over 45 or 50 degrees, then I start moving over to mooneye, skipjack, stuff like that. For some reason, the shad don't work in the rivers as well, but from what I've been told by a number of people that fish the rivers, Asian carp, Asian carp has always been a warm water bait for me. The hotter the weather was, the hotter the water was, the better it worked. But people are telling me now that since it's become a natural bait for catfish, a natural food source for them, that they're using it and catching catfish of all kinds year round, pretty much on Asian carp. And that's a bait that's easy to get. You can get them in a cast net. You can snag them like James and his daughters does. And I watched Creole and his son snagging some. Of course, they're a little further south. But you can also cast net them up behind barges and stuff, or behind wing dikes where there's a concentration of them. If you're not careful, they'll just jump in a boat with you. So either way, but they've become a natural food source. So quality bait, and find you a place for them fish to rest, or on a current seam, break, ledge, drop off, something like that. What do I think about the Missouri being so low? If I talk to you about that, I'm going to make some people mad, probably namely the Corps of Engineers or people that live in South Dakota and above, because every winter they hold back water to those lakes up in South Dakota and North Dakota, because the last dam on the Missouri River is in South Dakota, and that makes the water not flow nearly as well. And then in the spring, they break all that loose and run all that down and flood the lower part of the Missouri River every year. And whoever is over top of that should be cut like a hog, because that happens every year, and there is no reason for that to go on. There's no sense in that. They ruin thousands of acres of farm ground every year. They tear up stuff by holding that water back. There's other places and people can dam up there besides the Missouri River. It's just that simple. That's my take on it, and I know there's a lot of people are not going to like that, but you ask, so there you go.
I heard what you said. Lynn says floods me out every time.
That's exactly right. There's no sense for it. Here's a comment that I seen a while ago. Before, just a second, we'll get back to what we was doing. I heard this before the show started, that on the Golden Whiskers Facebook page, there is a place to vote for Angler of the Year was left off. So any of you guys that take that as serious as Chad and I do, please go over there and do that. I don't know if Kevin is in the chat tonight, but if he is in the chat, or someone else can put a link up to that so we get as many votes in there for the people. I guess he's got people picked out. I haven't had a chance to go look at that yet.
Yeah. There's 3 anglers on there. I did reply to him and ask for a request for a write-in vote because I, for some reason, was left off. And for some reason, all he did was laugh at me, like you're doing right now. And
really, I find that hard to believe.
Again, we made an excuse for Tim not being here tonight, but the truth is, you only needed one epic catfisherman, and that was me.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, come on. I mean, we could have had D fill in.
We could have had D. We could have had Cindy. Anyone. There's a lot of other people out there we could have had, but it is what it is.
It's all right.
Yeah, it is. It'll work out. But there was another question that was up before I put this one up. Do you remember what it was?
I do not. Hold on.
I went back and tried to find it, and of course, I didn't make that happen.
Well, how about this? If you asked a question and we moved on, can you put your question back in chat? We'll try to find it again.
Absolutely.
But yeah, no, so going back to what I was asking, because on the Ohio, we don't have wing dikes like you guys have out down there on the bigger.
No,
bigger
you don't.
I mean, the Ohio is not a small river, but it's nothing compared to what
it just doesn't have. It does. It's narrower in some areas. It just doesn't have the current constantly like we do.
Exactly.
You get it. You get current. Never when I'm there, but you do get some.
You don't come up here and long.
I come down there, and if they got current by the time I get there, it's gone. But
don't come up during the summer.
Right. The current, the wing dikes depend on a strong current, and the way that they're made is they're to funnel the current out in the center of it to keep it washed out for barge traffic.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It works. It really does. Now, since there is so much less barge traffic now on the Missouri than there's ever been, as long as I know, they've stopped taking care and repairing a lot of the wing dikes on the Missouri River. So at some point, those will all wash away, probably not in my lifetime, and it's going to go back to the way it was once you go past the last dam in South Dakota. Because they're just, the Corps of Engineers already said they're not going to fix them anymore. There's not enough barge traffic to justify it. If they have a spot that gets low and they need to dig it out, they'll just take a dredger up there, dredge it out, and go on. And it's cheaper to do that than it is to put the wing dikes in. So we'll see how that works. Like in Mississippi, there's so much barge traffic on it all the way up. They have to do what they can do to keep it washed out to where I'm trying to remember. I did know, but it's like 8.5 foot or something. It takes to go to float barges. So you got to have that much depth in the center or in the current seam on that, or something like that. Somebody may know, but I used to know, but I don't remember. It's around 8 foot or a little over. So that's why they do it. But I've been into it with the Corps of Engineers many, many times, and they just. We was at a duck hunting meeting one night because every year they run Truman Lake out of water, and we go up there and hunt it, and then you get stuck because they'd rain it so fast you couldn't get out of the place you was hunting, and I'd tear up trolling motors and props and lower units every year getting to places that we duck hunted. And I went to a meeting of theirs one time, and I said, I like to complain about this. And he said, let me educate you on something. I said, what's that? He said, we answer to no one. Not even the President of the United States tells the Corps of Engineers what to do. I said, well, you're lucky I'm not, because if I was the president, you wouldn't have that kind of power. And I walked out, because when somebody tells me that they're more powerful than the President of the United States, I have zero tolerance for them. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But they don't answer to no one.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think it's common sense and using that to regulate what's in each, what's flowing. All that sort of thing, right? I mean, there's the reason they put these dams in place, and that's to not flood out, downstream, and they can control the flow throughout these places. And
that's correct.
Yeah. Anyway,
but, I've been into it with them many, many times, and they don't care. They just laugh at you and go on.
Yeah.
And because they know your tax dollars is supporting their paycheck.
Man, Curtis is all over me tonight in chat. I'm seeing every one of his comments. I'm just not highlighting them.
Who is it? I've missed them. How did that happen?
When do you have when do you think you'll have spare time to teach Chad how to fish? Man,
he won't come up and go with me. He's been invited. I will say that.
Yeah, he'll be. Somebody needs to. I feel like the last 6 months I've completely forgotten how to fish, man. We had such a great start to the year last year, and it started about this time, and then the next few months was just great fishing, and then boom, soon as
Yep.
spawn was over, I never figured them out again for the rest of the year.
I see Art with the 1 Ton Fishing Club has made it in.
What's up, Art?
There's Frank from Twisted Fishing TV. Frank, I guess seen your message. I just haven't had a chance to answer it. I will get to that this evening, though. Just bear with me.
But no, this is the start. Hopefully, be the start of the time of the year where the river does start rising a little bit, and I like to start moving to them creeks and stuff, and then mouths and those type of areas. But I am learning. Oh, hold on.
If you have water coming out of those creeks into the Ohio River, there's usually a mud line between the water in the Ohio River and the water coming out of that creek. And one of my favorite places to fish in times like that is right on that mud line. I don't know what it is about bait being in there for them to eat or just what causes it, but you can usually catch fish, especially if the water's rising, on that mud line between where the two waters separate.
Now, isn't it? I might be wrong, but doesn't the stained muddy water warm faster than the clear water?
That's always been my understanding, yes. And I have no way to substantiate that because I've never checked it with a thermometer or anything. But the mud in there will heat. The way it's been told me, the mud will heat up faster than just plain water.
And that's right now that bait fish gets up in it.
One thing right now that people need to be watching, in a lot of areas, it's probably not an issue, but in other areas, when that ice is floating down, you got to watch that ice floating down them rivers. You don't have so much of it on lakes and stuff. You either got it or you don't, but there is some ice patches on lakes too. But when you have current in the river, a lot of times you don't see that ice until it's right on you. And once in a while, it's a little too late, and you don't want to tear up your boat or motors or anything like that. So do watch the ice as it floats down. Some of the guys that live closer to the rivers now than I particularly am might have more information on that, or whether it's around or not around. But I know I've run into that several times before. James, I keep getting dirty messages in our chat. Private stuff.
That's why I don't even look.
Well,
Lyle, how'd you like a mud line with a 10-degree difference between the two?
I would like that a lot. I would like that. That is extreme, though. Wow, 10 degrees. I'm not sure I've ever seen anything like that. That is a ton. Wow. 10 degrees. Somebody be catching some fish. I don't know why, but in the clearer water, I can always find bait better, though. Maybe it's just me. Seems like the muddy water is harder to get bait out of, but the clear water seems the bait fish are easier to come by.
I've never paid attention.
Well, when you get to the point where you have to have bait, to fish, you watch it a little closer, I think. If you don't have none and you got to have it, anything that you could come up with a way like that will make a world of difference. So,
that's how chicken was invented.
No, that was invented by Dieter Melhorn. No, it wasn't. They've been using chicken for 30 years.
That was a long time before that.
Well, Dieter's pretty old.
Oh, wow. No
Mr.
comment.
John, real-time catfishing has made it in. Hi, John. How you doing? Hope you and are doing great. Mr. John has been fixing up a bunch of background images for people, thumbnails and stuff, just really doing great things. I appreciate everything he does for me, for sure. He's just really nice guy.
That's right. See, Catfish Karma made it in.
Did you say that blood will help you attract catfish? I did not say that, but I believe it does. I don't like it if it's mine. But I have cut myself a time or two, and I never worried about it dripping on any bait. But I think blood does attract stuff, and one of the reasons why I say that is any bloody kind of bait, whether it be the backbone out of a shad or a skipjack or something like that, or whether it be pieces of beef liver or anything like that. Depends on what kind of fish you're fishing for and what kind of bait you plan on using. But blood has a scent like nothing else, and I think that they get used to that because let's face it, when they grab a piece of bait fish that goes down the river, um, it's going to bleed when they crunch it, kill it, eat it, digest it, whatever. So I think that it's similar on every animal, not the same, but similar to where they know what it was. That's just my opinion. But yeah, I know a lot of. I could tell you, and I've told this story a few times before. A buddy of mine, Keith Atkins, and I fished a tournament, and I'd been on fish for a week solid. It was on the Mississippi River down Louisiana, Missouri, and he wasn't able to get off of work. And I'd fished that tournament, fished that, and fished it, and fished it, and fished it, and caught fish every day above the dam at Clarksville because I didn't want to lock through. I knew you could catch fish below it, but I didn't think anybody would be above the dam. And we was catching good fish up there, not giants, but good fish. And that way we could run down there, get our 5 fish. That's what was the limit those days, and beat it back to find some upgrades. And the day of the tournament was on a Saturday, and we run down there, and we stayed there way too long. Should have left at 9:00, and we left at 1. We hadn't put a fish in the boat, and we had some Danny King's punch bait, blood flavor or scent. And Keith said, let's go up here behind the island. He said, you know where there's some rocks? I said, I do. And we went up there behind the island and anchored up and fished riprap rocks along the inside of an island. And we put, I don't know, 15 or 20 fish in the boat, kept the 5 biggest ones, and went to weigh in and ended up 17th out of 107 boats because It was tough for everybody that day. But the winners, the top 5 places come from below the dam, and I could have got there, and I was ahead of most of them going in. I could have locked through and went there, but I didn't want to do that because I didn't want to fight all them people down there arguing and fighting and carrying on below that dam. And I thought I had a plan that didn't work out, but that's the way that works. But we had a great day, and we caught the crap out of channel cat that night. We from 1:00 till 3, when we had to be back, we put all them fish in the boat, and every one of them was caught off of that punch bait.
Really?
Yeah, every fish. Yeah. Couldn't get them to go on shad, skipjack, moon eye. We had it all. Worms, nothing. But they'd bite that Danny King's punch bait that day. And if Keith hadn't had that, I don't know what we'd have done.
It amazes me how some days just something like that versus having every smorgasbord type of bait that you think they'd want and nothing.
Brad says, you know what a frying pan and Chad's boat have in common? Neither one will have catfish in it. Oh, man.
I used to think Brad was my friend.
I thought he was too. Hey, there's Tara Blackburn.
You just wait, pal.
Clearview Outdoors. Sean.
I got to meet. There's Miss Alicia Burnett. I got to meet her this weekend. She was down there at Taylorsville Lake with us fishing.
Oh, nice. That's
along
great.
With Lucky Ronnie, Cody, and Larry from 3+1.
Cool. Yeah, I bet that was a good time. How many of you caught fish?
4 boats went out. No boat even caught a fish. Nobody could find them.
Nobody caught a fish.
And there was a crappie tournament going on, and I talked to some of the guys, and only a couple of them had a decent day. Crappie fishing. I don't know if it was just the front moving in, or none of us know how to fish. Apparently,
days like that. I see Michael Barillo has made it into our chat. Welcome, Michael.
What's up, Mr. Murillo?
That 4 boats and nobody caught fish. That is strange.
Yep, I think there were 2 or 3 bites where the bait or the lines just went squealing, and then they were just gone. I think Chris had one, and I think Ronnie and them had one.
Wow. Now, was Alicia fishing from a boat, or was she on the bank, or?
Alicia was with Ronnie.
Okay, because I know she fishes from the bank a lot.
Yeah. Since Bumpin' Mike, he wasn't able to make it. He was on the list that kind of started it out for us to make the trip down there to Taylorsville, and he ended up, something came up, he couldn't make it. So Alicia ended up taking his spot on Ronnie's boat. So
very nice.
It was a good day. It was just really windy, cold, and we just couldn't find them. Or well, I guess you could say couldn't get them to bite because I think everybody was marking.
They would take down, but you couldn't get them. You couldn't connect with them. So
yeah, the only thing I could catch was snags.
Snags?
Well, yeah, I definitely caught some snacks as well, but mostly snags.
Did you lose sinkers?
Yeah, I actually had one snag.
Brad Caudell sells them.
Yeah, yeah. Not after his comments tonight.
If you guys are needing any sinkers, by the way, you can contact Brad at Tidal Weights and Sinkers, and he'll hook you up with some sinkers. He has all kinds. He has some of these, which I dearly love. They're for dragging baits down the. You can drag them on the lakes. You can use them on the river if you're dragging downstream or upstream. Has them in several different weights, and he's got regular sinkers too. Oh, Anglerholics, Fishing and Outdoor Adventures. Hello, everybody. We are so glad to see them in here, Elizabella, and I hope James is doing it. I haven't seen him on the show, and I don't think they had a show over the weekend, did they? I did not see it. If they did, I missed it. I don't want to miss that.
I don't remember.
It is a ton of fun to watch them guys go at it.
I'll be honest, everything right now is running together, so I don't even know what weekends are what and what day week. Yeah.
I see.
But Don has a good, quick, interesting question. What is a fish you have never caught that you would like to catch this year? I bet your answer is probably going to be the same as mine.
That I've never caught. Yeah, I'd like to catch a yellow perch. I really would. The problem is we're going to be going to a place where they have some, but the season will actually be closed for them. And I have heard from Mark and several other people that the yellow perch are as good or better eating than crappie. If that's the case, I'm not going to be able to just catch them and throw them back. I'm going to have to try one, and I don't want to get in trouble for doing that. But, hey,
yeah,
if they're as good as crappie, come on now.
Well, that's like going out to Wiley. I'm hoping because when we went out there last year, the crappie were at the other end of the lake when we were talking to Richard Warskow and them. So we really didn't get to fish for the white perch out there. But I'd love to be able to go out there and fish a little bit for those this year. Hopefully they're around where we can get to them.
Green Machine says yellow perch is delicious. That's what I keep hearing. I would love to try them. Listen to this. I had yellow perch for dinner last Friday. Hashtag Catfish Weekly. Hashtag delicious. Can we can't kick him out because he's not in here. Dang it. Eating perch.
You can time it. You can time it. I'm just saying.
No, I don't want to do that. Don't forget, when we're done here, Mark on the Catfishing Crappie podcast is going to have Danny Stone tonight. I'm sure that will be an awesome show. Kind of looking forward to that. So hopefully everything will go really good. I keep seeing stuff in here, but the chat is really going fast tonight, and I keep missing it. So
that boy Eric, I guess he went to the Columbus Expo. Oh, you're fine. I guess that boy Eric went to the Columbus Expo this weekend and got to meet Roger, Chris Souders, and Brad. I've met them all. Yeah, they all shook my hand and said, "Man, you are the greatest fisherman I have ever met." Just remember.
Really?
That. No, they didn't say that, but I imagined it.
Josh says, I found out this week that we have one local lake which they stock yellow perch. The
Hmm.
Illinois Department of Natural Resources says they are thriving. They have to learn how to catch one. Yeah, I would think so if they're the size now that it takes to go in there. I don't know if they have size limits on that lake. I'm not sure which one you're talking about. Oh, there's your sister. Welcome, Tall Betty. Glad to see you made it. There was another something that is just flying by, and I'm
I'm way back in chat, apparently.
thank you so much for that, Avid. We appreciate it very much.
There's my buddy K&B Anglers, Mr. Calvin.
What does Calvin have to say?
Something about me drinking again. But if you guys don't know, I'm not sure if he put it out on his page or something, but I want to say it's at the beginning of September. If you're in the Georgia area, I think K&B is putting on a tournament out there.
And when is it?
I believe it's September 3rd or something around that area at that time frame. So you guys are interested in going and fishing a tournament down in Georgia?
Eric says I can put on some yellow perch at Hoover Reservoir in Ohio. I did not know Hoover had those.
I did not either.
I've not fished Hoover, but my buddy Doc used to tell me great things about it. And I know you fished over there. I know Roger and several other people fish over there quite a bit. So
yeah, I've not made it up to Hoover yet, but
oh, you haven't?
No, I've fished a few other of the lakes around where Betty and those guys all live.
Up there? Did Mark?
They
that's who I'm thinking about. Yeah, Curtis hates them.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I actually want to try them really, really bad. For some reason, and I don't know of any place around my area that has them. Hopefully I'll get to check them out because when somebody tells me they're as good or better than crappie, that's a statement.
Yeah,
that's a huge statement. Of course, I feel like 2, 3, 4 pound catfish are as good as, depending on who's fixing them, as crappie. But I dearly like my crappie to eat. But then again, it's kind of a toss up with me and bluegill on crappie. I like bluegill really well, but they have to be of decent size because if they're not, you just get a tater chip from a bluegill. You got to have an 10-inch bluegill to get one of size enough to get a fillet off one. That's of any size.
I tell you what, Lyle, I am going to throw my name in the hat that if there is anybody that wants me to do a taste test to say which one tastes better, and because I'm seeing walleye is in the chat now as well as being the best.
A lot of people like walleye.
You just let me know, and I will be the honorary taste
tester. Okay.
That's
well,
right.
I like walleye too, but I don't like them as well as I do bluegill and crappie.
Yeah, I ain't had a good.
They are delicious. They are delicious. But don't ever thumb one. Never.
Yeah.
Stick your thumb in there. Don't ever do that. Yes, I do.
All
Comments from the peanut gallery coming around. What was that? What is D saying?
I need to catch a walleye so I can try it and find out. Well, we can catch them up at Mendota, right?
Yeah, I'm sure I'm sure Mendota.
I caught one when we were up there at Mendota last year, a little bitty one.
I would like to spend one day up there catching crappie and walleye and perch.
I want to catch them all. I want to catch everything I got.
Uh-oh.
After I get that 30-pound channel cat, then I'm going to change over, I guess.
Betty says she's cooking up about 10 pounds of walleye Wednesday night.
Well, can I get up to her house and back and eat and get back in time for bed?
Hey, Jeremy, how's it going tonight? Yeah, you might be able to. I need to pull up the
first I ever heard that.
Way tool. We need to give
I
away
actually
some.
already got the giveaway tool pulled up. If you want me to,
Would you mind?
I don't mind at all.
We're going to give away some decals to Brad Caudill's title weights and sinkers. Mark says he's leaving right after the show. You know, if we hurry, we might be able to beat him there.
I don't know. When he's driving, especially when he's going to get free food, drive fast. Hashtag sticker, folks.
Get them in there. We'll give 2 sets of them away if you guys hurry, because we don't want to detain Mark too long tonight, because he's got a great show coming up after we are done, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Lyle, I tell you what I'm going to do.
Cilli. Sean, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that, but welcome to the stream. Go ahead.
So you're going to pick 2 winners for the title weight decal.
Yes, sir.
I tell you what, Lyle, I will also send out to each of those winners one of the new Fields to Water decals.
Awesome.
So they'll get an envelope from you and an envelope from me.
And while we're at it, I'll throw in a Catfish Weekly decal.
Holy moly! What a night! What a night, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. Drop hashtag sticker in the chat for a chance to win.
Chad, I know that you've seen this, but I had the opportunity to take my lovely wife out for Valentine's dinner today. And
I did see that.
We had steaks and shrimp, and she is such a wonderful lady. She does not like shrimp, so she'd give me hers.
See, and I keep telling you all, she's the most amazing Missourian to ever live.
Absolutely. So I got my steak. I got my steak and her shrimp and my shrimp too. Isn't that awesome? Jade Clemens, welcome. But I do love shrimp, and she does not, so worked out really well. We used to go to a place in St. Louis called Noah's Ark years ago, right after we first got married. You walk in this place, and they'd seat you, and they'd sit down this huge bowl of clam chowder. And you got all the clam chowder you could eat with your meal. And we'd get steak and lobster. And
hey,
Cindy don't like lobster.
Really?
Yeah. I get my lobster and her lobster too. Plus my steak.
You know what? I'm about to come out there, and I'm going to leave you at home, and I'm going to take her out to dinner. Just some mother-son time.
Yeah.
And tell her, why don't you order anything you want off the seafood menu?
That's right. Haley Mize, welcome. That's a new name for me. Jello, how you doing?
Yeah, just seen it. Yeah, Haley Mize.
Mike's Fishing Home. Yeah, I enjoy that very much, but she does not like seafood. She used to didn't like any kind of sausage at all. Summer sausage, pork sausage, anything like that. She used it to cook with, but not just eat it. She's got better about that. She eats jerky and stuff now that she didn't used to do. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
And just so my sister knows, since I see her whining in chat, yes, you do. You just have not received them yet.
Trophy Seekers Outdoors.
All right, we'll get back to this because I am starting to see no more entries coming in.
We're at 62.
We are at 62. We'll give this about 5 more seconds because we are at 8:59. Last chance to get it in there. We have 114 in chat, 99 thumbs up. Make sure we hit that get Lyle over 100 for the night, please.
That would be awesome. Thank you guys so much.
And then we are going to go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You snooze, you lose if you didn't get it into the chat.
But if you hurry, you can get in for the next one.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to run this 2 times.
Justin's Fishing Fetish.
I want to spin again. I don't want to send him one. I'll put it in care of Gabby.
There you go. That'll work. I should give him a Gabby anyhow, don't you think?
I should. Congratulations, Justin, on that. He'll be sending you the tidal weights decal, and I'll be sending you the Fields to Water. So there's Honolulu Catfish Adventures, also known as Kalana.
Welcome.
Ready and go. What's video number 2 is? We just jumped up to 123 awesome folks.
Quiet man, Curtis.
After the way he's treated me tonight, he ain't getting one either.
Sure he will.
Okay.
No, quiet man. Be sure to send us your shipping address. You can message us, Chad and I both, on Facebook, or you can send the shipping address to me at catfishweeklytv@gmail.com. Either way, and we will get this stuff out to you. Got any closing statements for tonight?
No, just make sure that you go over and check out Mark from Catfish and Crappie. And he's got Mr. Danny Stone on his show right after us, and then we have a special surprise that nobody will believe their eyes on Thursday night. So tune in to the bait shop.
Absolutely. And as soon as the bait shop's over, Mark and I will be going live with Panfish Nation. We'll have some stuff to visit about on that show also, and then we'll be right back here Monday night. And there's a show every night. I don't remember them all and who's on what nights anymore. I know Roger's on tomorrow night. Jody and them go on, and Lynn go on late nights about every night here recently. Thank you, Mike's Fishing Home. Appreciate it so much. I don't remember all the rest of them. Stan and them are on Friday nights and Sunday mornings, but Kevin's on Sunday nights. But I can't remember them all too more. There's just too many, but that's a good thing. Just simply because there was a time when the only time you got to watch catfishing was on TV. About once every 6 months there'd be a show on, and it usually wasn't very good. There's a lot better quality shows on YouTube about catching catfish now than there ever was on TV 30 years ago. So bear that in mind. New videos coming out daily from different people, so be sure to check them all out. Don R., thank you so much. Appreciate it. Creole says Chris Souders will be on their show tomorrow night, so you're going to want to tune in for that. If you don't have anything else, Chadwick, I think that'll do it. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Hope you enjoy the show tonight. We'll get Epic rescheduled and let everybody know when that's going to be.
Yes, sir. Have a great night, everybody.
Talk to y'all soon.